Wait, so 9 hours a day. Shouldn't study history for nine. We're coming in hot mid. Well, don't even have to.
Yeah.
So I'm not even gonna give any context for it. So what should you do for 9 hours a day? What's one thing that's okay? Like you eliminated studying history. Um,
I think that
play Fortnite.
Nah.
You can go pro.
Hey, if that's your thing though. Like that, and that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying for the history. Unless that's your thing and you plan to be a historian or something like that, you shouldn't do that. I think history has.
Why not? What if they just like it? What if they're just an enthusiast?
Well, I'm wrong then. If you're just an enthusiast, yeah, like if that's just your jams and you're doing that, but like if you, for the sake of getting lessons out of it, I think you'll still get lessons whether you spend 9 hours or one in a day. And that the lessons you would get reading on it 9 hours a day might not necessarily give you the same difference, 9 hours difference of, or 8 hours difference of value to that 1 hour you put in. You could still make out that value. Or does that make sense? That sounded crazy.
Because like if you do something for an hour or you do that same thing for 10 hours, you're going to be better or more knowledgeable at that thing after 10 hours than 1 hour.
Yeah.
Like you just will be.
But you have to balance the other things you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, but like what is real balance though? I guess that's really what the question would be. Like what does that mean? How valuable is it? And is it truly achievable? Go.
Well, it is truly achievable if you do the math, and balance is different to every person. But you get 24 hours in a day.
Mm-hmm.
You can break down your hours and make up your time to get something good. Do you know that you sleep for 8 hours, for example? That's a third of your day.
16 left.
Yeah, you know you have that left. You could spend those 2/3 left. You can break them up into other things, or you could have just two big activities that you get into, depending on what your goals are. I think that's more important for knowing what you should be doing for 9 hours. What are your goals?
That's a fair answer. Well, if someone's just floating out here.
Well,
because
that's the problem with floating.
Yeah, that's a big problem with floating.
It's hard to get out of that.
Because just in general, 9 hours is about like a school day, right?
That's a school day and some change, like a school day and a half.
It's definitely not that much. 9 hours?
Yeah, I mean,
you go to school at like 7, 8, get out at 2?
Like
1? Get out of school at 1?
Yeah, I got out of school.
We got to school at 3. And that explains a lot just off the jump. Y'all niggas need more school. Let's start there. What the fuck are y'all getting out of school at 1 o'clock for?
Like we'd go.
What time are you getting at the building? You wake up.
Like you'd come in.
Let's really break this down because now
you get in at like 7.
7.
And you'd go for your 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. That's 6 hours. You get out at like 1:30. And you're gone.
Yo, I'm serious. I'm like not even joking.
I just counted that on my fingers.
We had a whole extra 2 hours of school, like for my entire life.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. That's just a harder work ethic.
Not even. I mean, I'm just saying. Like, I didn't even know this. How many classes did you have a day in high school?
We had like a block schedule, so we did 4 classes every day.
You did 4 classes every day?
Yeah, we spent like an hour.
The entire.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Let's take
every
this slow.
class was longer, so we spent like almost. We spent like I guess an hour and a third in every class, and or something like that. I mean, I'm just coming up with makeshift math here, but
we're fine. But some of them need to be cemented.
Yeah,
4 classes.
Yeah, I started off. The school started off with 6 classes, like a lot of schools. 6 classes. You go to all 6. Then they like reinvented themselves, and they
took out 2 whole classes.
Yeah, well, what they did, they made it into like the rollover schedule. So like, I have class 1 through 4. I'll go to those, and then the next day I'll go to classes or 5, 6, 1, and 2, and they organize it in that kind of a way.
Okay, so not every class every day,
Yeah.
but longer time in each class per day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was.
Yeah, I don't know if that worked out. I don't know if that's good. Because we were doing, we did, 6 classes a day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for about an hour and a half? Is that possible? It couldn't have been an hour and a half.
When I did 6 classes, each class was a little under an hour.
Yeah, like 50 minutes. That sounds like reasonable.
Yeah.
And this is like what? I'm trying to think. Okay. So what was like? Give me a full, if you remember, full 9th grade schedule.
Okay, so for 9th grade, I went to 2 schools. One was block schedule. How I'm talking about the other was regular.
Give.
The block schedule. I had 8 classes at the time, and we did 4 a day in a similar way.
So it would never be like Monday is 4, Tuesday is 4, completely different.
Mm-hmm.
And then Wednesday would be the same 4 from Monday.
Exactly.
Thursday, Tuesday,
Yeah.
Friday.
A day, B day, A day, B day.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Tuesday, Thursday. Okay. There's merit there.
I liked it more than having all 6 classes in a day,
Mm-hmm.
just because then each teacher, they can give you your homework, or they can have you studying whatever, and you don't feel like overwhelmed. It worked for me because I had less stuff to focus on. Like, okay, I just got to lock in on this for this hour and change.
See, what should come along with that should be, you should be able to get deeper in these courses.
You do.
Well,
but
that's, I think, arguable maybe, because like if you got deeper in it's 3 days a week there instead of 5, maybe that just balances out to the same thing, just kind of different workload.
Yeah, and the reason I liked it better was because while it was about the same when you get to the end of the week, they were dealt with more individually. It didn't feel like I was doing all these things at once.
What were your like class sizes?
I'd say about like 40.
40 people?
Yeah, something like that. 40.
That's
or
huge.
No, not 40. I'm not really going to be able to tell you this, but I'm trying to remember. So I had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Like these are regular classrooms, not auditoriums.
Yeah.
Right?
This isn't anything crazy. It's regular class.
Yeah, just desk and.
Yeah, I'd say each class we had like around 20 to 30, something like that.
That's the high end. Yeah,
it's a pretty big class.
It's a big. Yeah, it's a high end. It's probably more about average, but like it's like the higher. You wouldn't want like 40 is crazy.
Okay.
40 in my mind, you need to split that up in at least 2 classes.
Yeah.
30 seems wild too. Like 20, and somewhere in the 20s is like that max spot.
Yeah, you shouldn't quote me on this number at all, because thinking about it's crazy. Like I was trying to count seats.
Yeah, like just how many rows and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For you, how many would you say?
It was under 20.
Under 20 in each class.
Yeah. Like 5. Yeah, maybe like 5 by 5, like 25. They weren't always at full. So yeah, that's about right. Somewhere in that spot, I feel like. Somewhere under 20, maybe somewhere upper 20s, like maybe depending on the class.
Okay.
And they got smaller as years went, like.
That I did experience.
Because like 9th grade. Well, yeah, they got a little smaller, but not like really smaller. Because they were like, I did like all advanced classes and then AP classes, and then my senior year I did that at community college, just doing college, getting college credit before So that part didn't count. The AP classes were the smallest, but they were still pretty. It was full enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they had like multiple. Like we had enough for 2 classes worth. Like there were 2 AP biology classes. There were two. No, there was. No, there was 2 history classes. That's kind of crazy. Because one was good, one was bad. Same with AP history. One was good, one was bad. Like I was in the
Two
bad.
separate teachers.
Huh?
2 separate teachers.
Yeah, and it was night and day. Like it got crazy. Like we did AP biology, right? My junior year. The this is bad. The whole almost the first semester. I think maybe the whole first semester. In our AP history or our AP biology class, we learned about nothing but water. Everything about water, but just water. Like it's it's a shame. It's really crazy. Like, and we were just like, we knew. I asked me questions about water, I got you. But like,
stuck forever.
But there's so much more to biology than fucking water, and like, he ended up getting like fired, I guess, because I don't know, he's not a good teacher. And eventually, like, because we knew the people in another class, like we were cool, like they were still our classmates per se, like in the same. We shared other classes, so they would be working on one thing and we'd be working on fucking water. And eventually, it was just like a head scratch, like wait, what the fuck? We shouldn't be this different. And then by the time Mr. Matthews, the good AP biology teacher, found out, he's appalled and was just like, oh shit. So just half of these people aren't going to be ready for this test in like half a year. It's not catching them up is crazy. Like it's barely an option.
Long study
So I mean,
sessions.
they tried and whatever, but like, yeah, I didn't really get through that test well. AP history, we were all in the same. I feel like we had that split, but like they got condensed for AP history like faster. It was weird that was a thing. Kind of,
yeah.
Forget about those. Those things happen.
Yeah, it sounds like your teachers had some leeway. Like,
yeah, or just no oversight.
Yeah.
I would say is more no oversight, because like with all the things happening in like any public school, I would think the advanced classes would be less looked over, just because those should be the smartest teachers. The students they're fine. Like you're not getting real problems out of those kids because whatever, they're here for school.
Yeah.
You don't have like kids throwing chairs over here, so we need to watch these fools. But like they should be able to govern themselves over here. But then some of these teachers just fucking wilding, and we didn't know better. Or by the time we knew better, we were just like, I'm not gonna fuck this up though.
We're in a good place
because this also is like graded higher, like the 4.0 scale, like A's 4, B's 3s. With AP classes, it's like out of 5.0 scale. So you get an A, it's 5, B 4. So just in the game of high GPAs for college and stuff, I want to keep that A in biology. And I know as soon as we tell somebody, we're going to have to learn a lot more than water, and that's just going to plummet like a bitch. Because science is hard.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a mix of those things.
I do feel like school was harder for you, though.
Yeah. But that's why things are not hard now. So,
I mean, just in terms of that shouldn't be. Like,
it should be. What do you mean? What shouldn't be?
I feel like education is slacking off more and more over time. Like
for who though?
For the students.
No, I mean, but it's not for all the students. I don't feel like this is made. Like, what does that mean, or what? Because you said, all right, let's start over.
Okay.
You said school was harder for me.
Yeah.
And then you said that shouldn't be or should, or what is?
No, you had said something, and I was responding to that.
Oh.
But it was more. I was more saying that I've noticed this for my older brothers, for people I've talked to. You'll ask them like, "What? How much work they did at school? Like, how much homework did you get? Did you get homework in more than one class?"
All of them.
Yeah, I only got my homework in 2. That's it.
But see, that's what like it matters on. I don't know if that was the case for everyone in your school though. That's I guess what I'm saying. Like me and my sister went to the same school. She was like a year under me, maybe 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like grade wise, and we had different experiences. One, she had to deal with the fact that I had come there, so she had expectations, I would say, on her that she would talk about. She would voice because she'd be like, "This is some bullshit." But then also we just like I did like all advanced classes. She didn't. There's a difference in that. Like
Yeah.
I took whole maths that she didn't take. Like it was just different.
I had AP and honors classes going throughout high school, but I didn't have all AP or honors. I'd take them in subjects I was good at. That was really it.
Yeah.
And that made up about like half of my schedule, but that didn't change my like homework load specifically. Like I didn't meet that many other people that had a whole lot of homework that they would talk about. Like the kids I did know that had all honors, all AP, or a mixture of both, they would normally have more than I did, but it wasn't so much like crazy more. Like they'd normally say they had it in like 3 classes. So it was like, oh, that's bad, but
I mean, I guess that's because I don't want to make. It's not like I went
that,
home and was doing homework until I went to sleep either. Like it was there. I didn't always do it. That's can't be discounted. But like
that's life.
but there was still plenty of time for Xbox Live and yeah, when my homies would come over and we just chill for like a couple hours just off the jump. Like that was just a block of time. Then I'd play Xbox and then homework happened at some point. I don't even remember where that should fit in. It happened though. So, you know.
My brother had something like that, but he would get like 3-page essays, 4-page essays, like once a week almost. Like I didn't have anything like that.
Yeah.
I was getting a page essays, things like that. Like
So that's barely an essay.
yeah,
That's
barely. Like and
yeah.
you talk to most other students, it's like, oh, I had nothing even looking like what you had. What you had sounds crazy. That's been my experience for a lot of people, but then like I talk to kids younger than me, they're still in high school. It's like, oh yeah, I'm getting less. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, I guess it just matters on what they're doing.
What the classwork is.
I don't know, because I do know like some teachers, I will say, made things harder than they need to be, and it was only after it was done where I was able to appreciate it. I always go back to math in middle school. 7th and 8th grade, I had this teacher, Miss Woodard. She was all of like 5'1", but was like just tough as shit. Like she always felt like she was you were an outburst away from just squaring up. Like, and you didn't want the smoke. You really didn't. This is a really petite woman, even looking back on it. Like, but you didn't want those problems. You just felt like she'd just fuck you up.
She always had energy.
Like I had a afro, right? Distinctly remember her grabbing me, have her sit down, and I was like, "Why the hell did this happen to me?" Like, it was. There's this one kid. I almost said his name, but he was bad. He was smart though, but he was ridiculous. He was saying something crazy, and he's like, "All right, leave, fucking." No, she never cursed, but she's like, "You gotta go to the principal or whatever." She's like, "No, I ain't going nowhere, whatever." So okay, she goes, opens the door, picks him up in the desk. Again, this is a small woman. Like, this is mind-blowing event. Picks up the desk with him in it, puts him in the hallway, slams the door, and just keeps teaching algebra. We're just like, what in the fuck happened? Legendary. But her math class was the hardest shit you could conceive in a year. Like, and it's just algebra, like pre-algebra and algebra I had with her, and it was just so hard. I can't even. I don't know how it was so hard. It was the pacing. Pacing was huge. Relentless with like homework, getting shit down, whatever. But by the end of it, all of us knew algebra, like strong. And then we went into high school. We were starting because that was supposed to be you're supposed to take algebra in ninth grade. Everyone else. So we were
started on geometry.
Yeah, and so but we're literally in the 10th grade class, like you know what I'm saying, just ninth graders in that 10th grade class. I got like 105 in that class. Like it was a breeze. Like I couldn't, I would just sit back and sleep and just do the work, and like it was nothing. Because coming from that pace, like you know what I'm saying,
Nothing
like
you could do.
Yeah, and that's that. I've had that in a couple different areas. Like math. So that made math easy for years. Math didn't get hard, like just remotely complicated to get into calculus, and that's just because it's just a whole different thing. But like literally up until that point, you're just sleepwalking through math. Like yeah, obviously, I mean, whatever, just because it was I don't know, just less pressure behind it, and we did know all those fundamentals that foundation was limestone solid. You know what I'm saying? Uncrackable. Like because she made us know it forwards and backwards. Yeah. So I think of that. I think of going to Jamaica as like a kid and being in that class, and fourth grade for me, and they were doing times tables. And they would it'd be like 3 times 1, 3 in the whole class. 3 times 2, 6. And so like if you didn't know it, that's your ass. Literally. Go outside, break off a stick from the tree, and wait for me. I'm gonna be out there. Then you should come out there. Blah, blah, blah. You gotta know these times. This is just for not knowing times tables. And then it came back in. So I was like, yo, that was my takeaway, like from school. I was like, yo, I don't know these people. All I know is that these kids can grow up to be whatever they want. Because they're gonna know some goddamn math. Find me someone that multiplies faster than a Jamaican. Because that was the realest shit I've ever seen. I was like, he didn't do anything wrong. Like, he just didn't know. Like, he just didn't know. He wasn't trying to be a jackass about it. He just, all right. I was like, God damn. So that kind of pressure just goes a long way for making things easier. Like, you got that pressure again in like AP history. I should know more AP history, U.S. history. I apologize for not knowing more U.S. history if my teacher ever sees this. Because I should know more. Like, she did everything she could to make it interesting, kept pressure on it. I just could care less about what people did to some extent. Like, I appreciate it more now. It's still not my jam.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I could see why most people aren't interested in history. It's not like it makes people jump up and down at all. Like
No, but like there is interesting stuff that happened though. Like it's
but it's easy to think of it just as a bunch of guys fighting throughout time. Like it's easy to chop it all up as that.
Yeah, I guess I never, maybe a bit. I guess depending on what it is, there's a lot of shit that happened just in time. But like, I don't think I ever found it not interesting. It's just that like sticking dates to stuff, like to events, just like the minutia of what was the name of this treaty or this act during this, what year was it enacted in? Like I can give you time periods, and I don't know. I don't think I was thinking about it the right way, honestly. Now I'm thinking about it. So I could think about it differently, and maybe would have stuck more, like putting it more with the events and stuff that happened rather than just like act this year, this person. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
so
like a
black and
diary
white.
entry.
Like you got to make it more of a story. Like why did Teddy Roosevelt do what he did? Well, the times were this. This is how people were feeling. That narrative I think leads more to the memory because now I'm like you're kind of going back in time, like
Yeah.
mentally, like all right, I can put myself there, so I can see why this came about during this time because if it needed to or whatever.
Yeah, and I can see why that would make teaching so difficult. Because you do have to make that world for a student to be able to go into, regardless of your subject.
You got to be way more of a performer than I think most teachers are willing to be, or know that they need to be. Like, because you should be entertaining. I think that's the biggest thing from school that most teachers I don't think get, and the best really get it. Like, you should be entertaining me to a degree. Like, you're not a clown, but like, you got to make whatever you're talking about interesting. Like, if I don't think you're interested in the thing that you're talking about, there's no way I'm gonna be interested in the thing you're talking about. Like, that's period. Like, uh, yeah, I've had to reiterate that, like, just to people in general, just like, well, you want to go on camera and talk about something, but you don't sound interested in the thing. So why would the person watching the thing be interested? That doesn't make sense.
You have to start that energy.
Like, no matter what we're talking about, like if we came on here like, what up, I'm just sleepy. Like, it doesn't matter. We could be giving away tomorrow's lottery tickets. No one would turn off right in the middle of it. Like, God damn it! Like,
I'm so bored.
I'm so bored. Who cares? Like, it doesn't. Yeah, because and at least in school you're not teach. I think that maybe that's the problem with. No, it's not the problem with school, but like, I think that's a problem with why teachers might not feel that they need to do that or whatever is because they're not competing with you for time. You know what I'm saying? Like Netflix and your favorite entertaining thing, right, has to compete with everything else that you find entertaining. And for depending on the person, that could be a small range of stuff or a wide range of things. Like you like anime, you like music, you like history, you like. So at any given point, one of those things is competing with something else. Like if you're watching Netflix and it's just not hitting right, turn it off. YouTube, turn it off. Sports is on, turn it off. You know what I'm saying? Read a book. Um, School, you don't have that. They've contained you here. You're in here until that fucking bell goes off. So that lack of competition and anything that you could compete for your time is prohibited. Like, put your phones away. Like, it's punishable.
Yeah.
And I feel like that lack of competition takes out the lack of urgency in how entertaining teachers may think they need to be.
I get that. I can see that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that lack of entertainment value or lack of whatever ripples into how effective you are at teaching a thing. Because I feel like it's either an entertaining teacher that makes the whole subject come to life, or the drill sergeant type teacher that's just learn these shits repetition and they're scary enough where, and you're a kid so you don't know what real consequences are or could be.
Yeah.
Like if I went back and were a kid, like if you just turned me back to a kid and I still had, I'd just be an asshole. I know that there's no real consequences for anything. Like, oh, permanent record, that's so not a thing. All right, cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Go ahead.
Like you can threaten kids with dumb shit because they don't know, and they don't know how to really react to like, people really getting at them. But like, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
And once you know, you can't.
And and I feel like it's also the dialogue around teachers, because when we talk about them, it's always in such sad ways. Like anytime you hear someone talking about a teacher, sometimes even hearing teachers talk about each other, the story it works out as someone trying really hard to get the attention of these kids, and they're failing. And
But
it's
see,
a
that's what I'm saying. Like
nasty cycle.
but if you came in with that enthusiasm, now that's no longer a thing. You have their attention.
Yeah,
See, you should
but
be.
but I
Okay.
feel like that dialogue stops people from coming in with that enthusiasm. I saw a Key and Peele video that I felt like really hammered it, and it was like, what if teachers were presented like sports player, ESPN sports players, and they come on, and it's like, yeah, Mrs. Andrews, she knew just.
I mentioned this last week on the podcast. Like we talked about this.
What?
You brought it up like I like yeah, I don't know if you've seen this thing. It's like, dude, I talked about it for like 10 minutes last week.
What are we? Oh!
But yeah, of course. That was just like the world where teachers are treated like professional athletes.
Yeah.
So it was like they had the draft and like she got drafted first and she's an instant millionaire teacher and max contracts and they had the endorsements. I'm pretty sure I showed you the sketch, which is it's fine.
What?
Yeah. Go watch the last episode. But yeah, that should be the case. But for that to be the case, to even be taking down that road, they got to come on like performers. Like, because not like learning isn't fun. Because if you're a smart person, at some point, you realize knowledge is power. Same shit they teach you from the moment you're able to walk and talk, hopefully, if you're lucky. You know what I'm saying? Knowledge is power, whatever variation of that. If you know shit, you can do shit, learn a skill. That message is repackaged and whatever. And at some point, you kind of figure it out on your own. Usually after post school, where you're just like, oh, that was some bullshit. But then you find yourself watching tutorials on YouTube for hours a day, and you're just like, oh yeah, okay, this is what they were trying to say. Yeah, okay, I get it. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't figure that out at some point, then I feel sorry, and things probably aren't going well because you don't know how to do anything or know anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like if you're smart, you learn it at some point, on some level. I don't know what I have for that. Oh, so like as a teacher, I don't know. They should. Yeah. So I guess the point was, learning's not boring. Like people watch documentaries that hated school, like, and can't get enough of watching like the History Channel and stuff. Like those people exist like in droves. You know what I'm saying? It's just they didn't get the right person to spark those things.
Yeah, and I feel like it's something about the dialogue, because we have teachers in other countries and they're doing well. Like they're very respected. They're on their P's and Q's, all getting done. They're being paid well. That's also something that has to be accounted for. Our teachers aren't being paid as much as they should.
Yeah, not even close.
Yeah, so I guess that's maybe bigger than we thought. But like in these other countries, they don't have these same problems. That's a weird thing to.
See, I don't know if they don't or don't. What's that based on?
Well, I've had same conversation about this, and it was like, oh, in Japan they have these teachers, and I was talking with someone from Japan.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have these problems. Da 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 da. You look at it, they go to school more.
Well, see, do you have an example outside of Japan? I only say that because Japan is like not notorious, but like that's like their shit. They're known to be that. So like I don't know why they're so ahead of us and all of that, but they're famously known for being ahead of us and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like I just wrote that off. That's how we get PlayStations, like because little kids are doing calculus. Like I've brought this up many times, like when my sister had kids and stuff. It was like, yeah, so when are you gonna start like really pumping them with some stuff? Because I've seen like 6, 7 year olds in China doing calculus. Like, what's popping with your little ones? Like, what are they? So it's possible. I guess is my point. Like, it's not like it's a magic trick. It's not like it's a whole generations of kids of that are ahead.
I had seen a video on at least the Chinese education system, and it was talking about why so many people in China come to U.S. universities. They explain basically that in China, unlike the U.S., the high pressure teaching is in that pre-K to 12th grade years, while we have the opposite. Our classes are pretty relaxed, not that bad until you get to college, and then that's where the real schooling's supposed to start. That's how it's generally viewed.
Sure.
And so to keep going with their own education, instead of going to that relaxed Chinese college, they'll use the money and go to the American one. Keep the pressure.
Oh, because Chinese colleges aren't that.
Yeah, they're not that great. They loosen up.
Interesting. That's interesting that happens.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like the opposite of what we have.
But ours isn't working out though.
It does work out if you're them.
No, I'm not. I'm saying for us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why is ours set up the way it is then? Like, why is it lax because that's the only thing that's required for everyone to go through. So shouldn't that be harder?
Yeah. No, I
for
agree.
everyone.
I agree. And I think that I think that we have this weird thing where we just set a system and somebody can come by and say like, "Oh yeah, we can do this better," and they're like, "No, leave it alone."
We won't tear down a system. We'll tinker with it. Like they tinker with schools. Like you even said, like they went from regular to block scheduling. Like that was someone like, I know what we need to do. I got it. I got the answer. All of it. I swear, someone came through with that kind of energy. Because we had this shit rippled down there for sure. I remember the class times changing. I don't think we went all the way that blocked, but I remember hearing block scheduling. Like that was a whole term. So that was probably a nationwide buzzwords of, yeah, we're gonna reformat the American schooling with the block schedule. Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah, all right, same shit.
Half measures.
Yeah, it's a lot of half measures, but like we don't really tear down whole systems. We'll try to band-aid stuff a lot.
It's really annoying.
Oh, it's the worst. It's one of our worst traits. But I understand why. It's a scary thing to do. And if you're gonna do it, you got to be just wildly pragmatic about execution. Because you can't really have a lapse in education, like not nationwide. Like there can't even have like a month during like a school year where kids aren't in school nationwide everywhere. I don't know how, but it seems that would have terrible ripple effects going forward. Like just in general for that whole generation of kids.
Butterfly effect destroys everyone.
Yeah. I don't know what would happen, but I don't want to see what would happen.
It gets me more because like we have things go dangerously bad. Like our education levels aren't high at all, and like they should be, and they're getting worse.
Yeah, I mean, but they're like wildly not high. Like they're not even like they're bad.
Yeah,
it's weird. It's weird.
And then we come through like we got a really big Band-Aid, block schedule. Like,
yeah. But see, and I feel like it's a weird it's a cycle that might not be able to fix itself. Like honestly, I'm thinking about it. Because if your education is putting out a bad product, right? Dumb people. But then those dumb people go into power to look over education. You see the cycle that we've become stuck in. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe I'm just not giving enough credit to anyone really, but the results haven't been great in mass. Like, we get smart people. We still get some of the smartest people on earth still come out of the U.S. Like, it still happens. It should just happen at a higher rate. Like, we shouldn't have a in the land of iPhones and, you know, Amazon Prime, we shouldn't have a lack of engineers in the United States, or becoming a overwhelming need to import engineers. Like, we should be pumping. There should be a surplus. There should be engineers on the side of the street. We'll build for food. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it should be a problem, and that sign should be glorious. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, Iron Man, I thought that was the first step. I was like, okay, so now when you get educated, you're a rock star. Great. I get it.
See, comic books have been trying to do this for a long time. Pre-MCU. That's always been the case. Like, if you think about at least Marvel, why Superman was a goddamn journalist, like, it's beyond me. He wasn't even, like, the guy. Whatever. But Marvel, all your, like, Fantastic Four, there's a group of scientists, and a pilot. Miss Fantastic's, like, the smartest guy on Earth. Only to be argued by Iron Man, who was another genius of a genius, who just took it to a different level. He built everything around him to be a superhero. You know, Thor's even like he's a warrior and shit, but like he's even smart for that. Like, I don't know if you catch it, like in the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 or no, that hasn't happened yet. No, that did happen. The one where Thor meets Guardians of the Galaxy, whichever movie that happened in.
I think that was like Infinity War.
Yeah, right.
So,
the first one.
I think so.
When he starts talking to Groot.
In that language.
Yeah, like he's like I am Groot, and he's like no. He's like, and Rocket's like, you understand Groot? He's like, yeah, I had to take Groot in whatever school. Like, see, he's educated in that realm of shit, you know, but he's also kind of the meathead in that. But like, he's an educated meathead.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's still like the jockish. That's still more of his vibe, but he's not dumb. The Hulk's a scientist, super smart. There's no one that's really dumb. Like Peter Parker, really smart scientist. Who else? I mean, I can go down.
Hawkeye and Black Widow.
I would say the most ignorant is Deadpool, and he's even smart enough to know that none of this is real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's the only jackass, but he's on a whole level beyond everyone else because he's constantly outside the fourth wall,
bro.
Like, he's just like, yeah, but we're all comics anyway, so whatever. So, you know, no one's dumb. Like, and that's always been like celebrated in the universe. So yeah, I had a similar hope as a kid seeing that when it came out, like maybe this could help turn that tide or that perception. And then like the world's kind of changed where like the shit that, you know, I don't think I got like, really teased too hard for shit, but yeah, not really. But like all stuff that just wasn't cool is cool enough. Or like, you know, Big Bang Theory happened, and that was like the biggest show on TV for whatever reason for a long time.
Yeah.
And that's not, you know, it's a dumb show, but it's smart people in the show, whatever. And, you know, Rick and Morty's the whole thing. It's a very smart show. Not even if you're getting all of it.
Yeah,
I don't know if most people, you have to get all of it.
That's what I was thinking about.
But like, it's still there though.
Yeah.
It's still the underlying part. And if you want to go back and look forward, or, you know, it's just all there at least. It's not.
You can catch it.
Yeah, it's So I don't know. There's I can't not be optimistic, but there's no reason to think that it's getting better, but it should. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that YouTube and the internet has definitely kind of filled the gap that education leaves for people that have their interests.
That's huge because people are educating because that's where the competition is. As far as if I'm watching something on YouTube, Netflix, like Cosmos on Netflix,
Mm-hmm.
super entertaining show. It's all learning. You could put that on in a classroom.
Yeah.
I'm sure they put that on in classrooms because the teachers are fucking lazy. Like,
Oh.
but you see, but yeah, but it's super entertaining because at any point watching Cosmos, I could turn that shit off and put on anything else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so it has to be entertaining first, like primarily, and then it's gonna teach you because that's kind of their primary focus. But like for it to exist, it has to be entertaining first. You know what I'm saying? And that's huge. So the same thing with YouTube. Like anyone YouTubing, putting up tutorials, like unless it's a straight tutorial, but then you came to that specifically to learn that thing. So that's but even those guys put entertainment value in it. Like I learned so much, I would say probably like all video editing stuff I know how to do from YouTube. And it's these guys. I wish I remember their name off the top of my head because they're worth a shout out because they're fucking genius. But they do just all type of. They do like they have like different series and like one's like a copycat series. So they take like a music video that had like a cool effect in it, and then they would recreate the effect. So it'd be like they did one for like Kendrick Lamar's "Damn" video, the "Humble," and it does like this wild camera motion on him. And
In the church.
no, it's a small segment of the video. He's outside with the big group of people. He's like, "Hey, hey, hey."
Okay.
Straight before like the Great Poupon, and so it's just a camera motion moving with it, but they're in. You have to see it. Like they're kind of in place, but the camera's moving in like this 3D realm, so it just gives this depth to it. And so they recreated like how to make that. Like, and there's like, well, it's Kendrick when that thing they use this giant fancy ass camera and a crane to make this effect. Like it's really moving in that time. But we'll show you how you can recreate. So you go along with those, and now you've made this new look or whatever. But then you've learned all these other things in the course of that. Super entertaining though, like in the whole breaking everything down, cracking jokes, guys doing crazy shit in the background just because it's funny. Like that matters.
Having fun with the video.
Yeah, because now I'll look up and I've gone through 10 of them. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't. It didn't feel like work, but I've learned so much. Just giving it context where it makes it less forgettable. Like the fact that I even remember that exact example. I don't even think I did that one. I just watched it. Like, so I was like, I don't have any reason for this effect, but I want it in my pocket if I come up with something, kind of thing. Yeah. So that entertainment value is underrated in just in school, just because it doesn't have to be a component. I feel like it's the most important thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a weird thing because it's also hard to balance that. Because I have seen a lot of teachers go into being a clown, and then that just takes away from the class.
But I guess this needs to be with a purpose, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it needs like you can't just be a clown for the sake of being a clown. That's not good. But like in the realm of like if you're teaching history,
You gotta make history funny.
or like like they shouldn't all be comedians, but yeah, if you're funny, then that wins. I feel like that's the biggest win. If you make something funny, because now I'm hearing it differently, and even when you bring it up now, you've evoked a different emotion that makes it stick harder. But comedy is hard, so I wouldn't put comedic pressure on all teachers, but like you have to find your lane. There's different ways you can go about it. I feel like Hamilton, I don't think it's funny. I haven't seen Hamilton. I don't know anyone that's seen Hamilton, but like I feel like everyone's seen Hamilton. It's one of those things that just pisses me off, and it doesn't make sense. Like it's like, all right,
Yeah.
there's a show. You can only see it if you go to New York and pay like thousands of dollars for these tickets. But everyone walks around referencing Hamilton like everyone's seen Hamilton. I'm like, but I know no one's seen Hamilton. There's no way. Like it's notoriously expensive. It's been overbooked for like years, and it's come out like, but like everyone, like it pisses me. Like you watch like a Late Show, and they make a Hamilton reference. Everyone laughs like they've seen Hamilton. I'm like, it's not possible. There's no video of it. Like how?
Maybe people are reading online about the storyline or something.
The storyline is history. There's no. There's
what
a
do they do different?
It's a
Because
play.
I know it's like a black version. Yeah, it's a black version, but
Yeah,
that's it. Like I don't know what.
it's hip hop. Like it's a whole rapping play. Like they're
Okay.
rapping, and it's a rapping musical. A hip hop
Yeah.
musical based on.
What kind
history.
of references are they making? Like what did you said?
I
Colbert?
haven't seen, or everyone talk when Hamilton. It's still like a point of reference, like of.
I've only heard it in the context of Hamilton's making a lot of money, and everyone in the background's normally like hurrah, hurrah, and I'm just in the back like.
Yeah, but that's I guess because kind of even to that point, people hurrah. I don't know if they've seen it. I doubt that they've seen it more.
Yeah.
So. Not even that I don't know. I don't know, and I'm leaning heavily on I don't think so, because how? Like it's just not. It's not even accessible for everyone by design. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
it's not. I don't think
it's Broadway.
And I could be
real.
wrong that because I would think it eventually had to travel. All plays travel around, but I don't know if Hamilton has. And if it hasn't, that makes me even crazier on that because, like, all right, you have to go to New York City. That's so everyone that's seen it had to go through the city, and then Broadway is an expensive ass thing. Like it's a, you know what I'm saying?
Have mercy, it is.
And this is the apex of that. So like, you know.
Oh, they're outside of
They are those on tour.
Yeah, Chicago, Los Angeles, San Francisco.
Okay.
Toronto. Yeah.
All right, that makes me feel a lot better because I knew that, but that took forever to happen.
Yeah, I don't.
Because I mean, this has been out for like 4 or 5 years now. So, I don't know. That's just a whole thing. That's neither here nor there, really.
Yeah, no, it's insanity. I mean, I wanted to see Hamilton for like a really brief moment the first time I heard it, just because Black Broadway.
Yeah, it's hype. I mean, there's hype around it. It's just yeah, I don't know. It's just a weird one to me where it's just like I feel like I feel like more people pretend to see Hamilton than I've seen Hamilton.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I mean, I think that people are sitting around Googling about Hamilton. That's my thing. I don't know how much information you can get to understand references about it, because that's a thing. But even
Well, no, I'm not saying like deep references. I'm just saying like the general.
Because
Hamilton itself being a reference to something, not references within it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because no, I've never heard anyone do like specific jokes about things that happen in Hamilton.
Yeah.
Even though I guess, I've never heard of that.
That's
That
like
would
how
be
I saw it.
nuts. You know, like I would lose it for sure. Because I'd be like, who the fuck is that for?
Yeah.
Like, that's even more to my point.
You remember when Jesus jumped off the thing and hit those bars? Like,
Yeah.
What?
No.
Wait,
No.
I said Jesus. Tyrone.
Well, they're both they're both bad because they're still real people. Like they just happen to be black or whatever in the play. But well, even everything I'm saying is coming from a place of that I know way more than I know I'm talking about. I have no idea. Like all I know is I don't know. some I don't know.
All I know is I don't know.
All I know is I don't know. Yeah, there's some Puerto Ricans rap as old white people. That's
That's the closest they can get to white.
that's the closest I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's all I think I know what I'm talking about. Like the guy that I can't. His name is like 3 names. Whatever. The guy that made it. He's Puerto Rican, and he raps like a '90s rapper.
Okay.
Like that old cadence. But white people like it because they understand what he's saying, and it's history. So if you do know the history, then it's extra. Woo! I didn't learn that for no reason.
Damn.
This came back around. Like,
Lord.
so I don't know. I didn't mean to hate on Hamilton from nowhere.
Well, you're not hating on Hamilton.
Or at least it's
you're hating on all the people talking like they've seen it.
Yeah. But I can't even hate on that much because I did it there for a second somehow. Yeah, like
I wouldn't say it was so much that. I mean, that's flirting with the knowledge isn't the same as making the claim.
Yeah, it's just bad though. I shouldn't. Just even that momentary misrepresentation is just not good for anybody.
I understand.
But I digress. Education should be entertaining. Is the moral of the story.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and
if it can be.
I mentioned earlier I was watching Crash Course, and I think that they understand that really well. And I think that video helps teaching even more so than face-to-face conversation sometimes. Because they break all of their lessons down into animations, and they have people running around through these different environments while they explain to you what they were doing.
But even
that trumped any teacher's explanation so far. Like,
but see, you can ask the teacher questions or whatever.
That's where they are winning.
Yeah, that there's lots of it's one-on-one because you can get more in depth or like guys like, all right, I get all that, that's great, but or why is you know what I'm saying, or and that you can be entertaining one-on-one, like it just has to be an entertaining person.
Yeah,
like that's huge. I mean, in the video, sure, you can visualize what you're saying more in every way possible.
For entertainment purposes.
Yeah, but like, you know, stand-up comedy can be funnier than any, scripted comedy.
Yeah.
And movie, TV, like it could, if the person's right. You know what I mean?
But I think those visualizations support what's being said. Because it cements it. Like, I see the little Viking jump in his ship and go to England.
But even like teachers, they always have like a projection or a board or that's
they
for
try
that.
They try to get that approach, but it's hard to, unless you're just gonna be an animator too. It's hard to get that off. I don't know how. I've seen teachers do really, really dope stuff.
Yeah.
Like they've done different approaches. They've done things where it's like, I've never even seen someone think about teaching like this. The projectors now they have those little pin touch boards that can do all the fancy stuff.
Yeah.
They can pull everything up on there though. So yeah, it's definitely upgrading, especially with those boards all the teachers have. But I don't know. I've really clicked with those animations when I'm watching something.
Yeah, I feel that.
Or maybe it's that they're able to do less in terms of their verbal teaching, and the things you're literally looking at can help make up that difference from a teacher who's verbally needing to get the message into your head a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. They just gotta. Yeah, I don't know. Because animation can go a long way. Honestly, I think of like Schoolhouse Rock, old Animaniacs. I don't know if you ever watched any of that.
I didn't, but I remember.
I feel like Animaniacs is a good reason of why like a lot of people, at least my age, know all 50 states and or like maps and stuff. Like that was like a segment at the end of like every show.
They did like a song.
It was like a song. One song was like all the countries. They had a song for all the states. Yeah, maybe that was it.
The
And
songs help a lot too.
it was huge though, because like the song, like that sing songy. I can still hear the state one. The country ones, it's just more countries. But yeah, it's just smart. That yeah, the intersection of entertaining and educational is everything. Cause like I always make it a point to watch something where I'm learning something every day. Period. Just for good health. Because I feel like like junk food and like vegetables or whatever. It's the same for your mental intake. If you're taking in Kardashians for 9 hours a day, you're gonna rot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
unless you want to be a Kardashian.
I still don't think that's how you learn how to be a Kardashian.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm saying like
yeah,
like I don't think it was if Kim's not watching the Kardashian show to figure out to be more like Kim. You know what I'm saying? She's out on these streets or whatever the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, that's an interview.
Nah, I don't really care.
You don't want to. I don't want to give it that energy, but I want to know.
Like what?
What were you doing right before you got famous? Like I know the Ray J tape did it. I know the Ray J tape did it, but like, was that organized? I need answers.
Organized.
Yeah, you know they leaked the sex tapes and then everything goes crazy in the world and then they're famous.
Like, that was the beginning of that. That wasn't a thing before that. You're not taking that into...
Oh, she came up with that as a move?
Like there was one sex tape before that.
Yeah,
like,
because I thought
that created that genre of thing. Like there was like the Paris Hilton one with Tommy Lee, and that wasn't like Paris was already Paris.
And then like the Vanessa Hudgens with the nudes.
When was
that? That was like High School Musical.
See, this is way later.
Dude, that's way before.
Get it.
Yeah, that's way before.
I think you're mistaken. And I don't even know who this is. Who's the fuck's Vanessa Hudgens? So this didn't even work, is my point. Because I don't even know who the fuck we're talking about.
Okay, yeah. That High School Musical, that's like 2006. And then Kim Kardashian sex tape. That was... Okay, that's a little harder to say.
What's harder to say?
When it wasn't showing me dates. When did...
What, did you just put year at the end? Yeah. I'm just filling airspace. Unless you have it.
No, you go ahead.
Okay.
You go ahead.
I'm pretty sure that like kind of created like that wasn't becoming famous off sex tape was not a thing before she did it. So like you could say it was that coordinated, but like coordinated to what effect? You didn't know that was gonna. You couldn't have known that was gonna springboard you into that thing because it wasn't a good sex tape. Let's start there. It wasn't. I don't even know how it worked. From how much it worked.
Yeah.
Like that still doesn't make any sense. Knowing what we know now, it's still there's some bad weird math on there. But yeah, I mean she was just trying to become. She was working for Paris Hilton. She was like her assistant.
Like a closet.
Or not even.
She was something to do with her closet. I don't.
Yeah, I think she worked her way up to her assistant, but before that, she was like Paris would go out to like the LA nightclubs or whatever, and she would go knowing she was gonna be there, and then she's just being adjacent. So like it was kind of like, oh, who's this girl with, and like she was just kind of there. And then like her whole family, like again, Bruce Jenner was a Olympian.
Huge, yeah.
He was that was a white hero, like a white guy that won in track. Like think about what we're talking about. Like that was the last time that shit's happened, and he couldn't even take it. And then someone else was involved in the OJ trial.
Yeah, the ex-husband.
So you know what I'm saying? Like she came from some influence, right? And then she took that and made herself visible. And then from there, and then once she got fired, she just didn't let go.
Yeah.
And I mean,
she went hard.
Because I don't want to underwrite any part of it. Like, it's an amazing thing to achieve. And I'm not sure what she achieved, fame and fortune, but like, I still can tell you how. Like,
Yeah.
Besides just getting attention. Well, that's it. That's really it. Getting your attention, keeping your attention.
Yeah, and it happened in 2012, but
her sex tape.
Yeah, her sex tape happened in 2012. Vanessa Hudgens happened like 2006, 2007.
Who is Vanessa Hudgens?
It's a girl off of High School Musical. She had a lot of attention off of those nudes.
I mean, but she's High School Musical, so that sounds gross though.
How does that sound gross?
How old is she when these one of her fucking nudes came out?
She was grown, but she wasn't like you know how they get the women that are like high 20s and they'll have them act in shows where they're like in high school.
Yeah, I get you. I'm just saying I completely hear you. And yeah,
she's involved with like people in hip hop. You've probably seen her face. I just want to see her face.
She's from something way bigger than High School Musical, right? Wasn't she on a Modern Family?
Maybe.
The daughter?
Maybe. What is it? Mona Family?
Modern.
Oh, Modern Family.
Yeah, I feel like she was one of the sisters. Maybe that's a whole nother white girl. White people all look alike, so never know.
Yeah.
That is her?
No, it's not her. Oh. It's another white woman that looks kind of similar.
Yeah, they're like
Sarah
twins.
Hyland.
Let me see. Sarah?
This girl.
Yeah. Okay. That's not the same person?
Yeah, no, that's not.
Oh, well, shit.
They just...
Same tree?
They have, like, the same cheeks. Something about cheeks.
Cheeks,
makes
hair,
a person.
Skin tone.
You know, that person with the face.
Yeah. They're the same person.
Yeah, so in 2006, they had their shit exposed. And, yeah, it's they now. Yeah, okay. Y'all. Sarah and Vanessa.
But I guess she was already a name, I guess.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Like what are we talking
Kim
about?
Was the only one.
Like what? Yeah.
Kim was the only one to become famous off of it.
Mm-hmm.
I was just saying that there were other people that had this shit happen, and I was wondering if she did that trying for a result, or if she did it if it was just something that happened to her.
That's a good question. Or it's a question. It's not a bad question.
Yeah, because I mean, if she did that on purpose, she's a fucking genius, a mastermind.
She's
a lawyer now, bro. Like,
all the way down. Let's come all the way.
She's the
down.
Man.
We put a whole lot of respect on her name real fast, and
it's scary.
I'm not saying it's not warranted, but I'm saying it's not warranted like that.
It's scary that this might be a reality. Like,
what you don't have to
live in that universe.
What are you saying? What are you trying to say? And what shouldn't you say? Because it's all the same thing.
I think she masterminded herself into fame with a sex tape.
Oh,
as a fucking genius.
See, we don't have to put. We got to stop degrading the word genius out here. Elon Musk put rockets into space and had them land back down on the planet. That's a genius. Someone that put out a sex tape and was able to
become a multi-millionaire and achieve all fame,
all right,
and marry one of the biggest rappers.
I'm just saying it needs to be a word maybe a little under that. Like, I don't know. We may need a whole different thing for it.
A messiah? I don't know.
The fuck? How are you doubling down on this? No.
Anything is possible here.
See, anything is possible.
With Hennessy, she can do anything.
Huh?
Oh, I said anything is possible
I didn't
for the
even.
Hennessy.
Okay. All right. I don't. Yeah. Okay. Fuck. All right. I don't know where to go. I wasn't ready for. It's kind of making my head spin. Like I don't know.
Kim K.
Maybe that is genius. It's not.
It's not technical genius. There's different kinds of intelligence.
But see, like you can't.
It's like social genius.
Social genius.
Yeah, because to know your way through social interactions is its own way of being intelligent.
But see, like I can't. All right. I'll give her. All right. I guess that's what it is. I'll give her a. There needs to be another word. Because if I were to give her a genius status, it would be on the fact that she turned 15, like, it was like everyone gets like 15 seconds of fame kind of thing, 15 minutes. She took that and turned it in 10 years. That's masterful. Now, if she knew that the sex tape would put her. See, I feel like there's some serendipity there on this thing. I feel like this is you take a shot. You don't know how big it's gonna happen. You hope that this will further you in your lane of visibility. But I won't give her the credit that she knew, unless she said that, yeah, I think I was gonna do that, and fuck it, you might know the future.
Master stroking.
But I can't. Yeah, I don't know if she had the foresight to know that it would be all that it. And I don't even know what all it was, to be honest. Because like I don't know if that directly spun off into everything else. That got her more name. Like there's a step in between that we're not giving her a lot of credit for.
I remember I saw her in an interview she did, and she was talking about how she would or it wasn't even her. I think it was her mom talking about her. Whatever it was, the quote was more or less that Kim knew she wanted to be famous, so she started strategically putting yourself
exactly
into the positions. I understand that part. Like that's not genius. That's smart.
That's tenacity.
Yeah, that's smart. That's having directive. It's all of that.
That's just because that's having smart. That's just knowing what you want
and
attacking it. But well, yeah, you gotta be smart enough to do that.
So. But she's not achieving too much with that. She gets close to her biggest achievement was, I think, working Paris Hilton's closet.
Okay.
Not a small thing to say, but it's not Kim K yet.
Sure.
And so we keep going with that. She's doing little plays in these nightclubs, doing the pictures, and trying to get around. I think it was NBA players. And then this Ray J sex tape happens. And now, I would say, I don't know how much time passes, but time passes, and now we all know who she is.
So that's what I'm saying. I feel like everyone makes that skip, me included. But we're missing a step, which is everything. Well, and I feel like that's why.
It might have been her mom.
Yeah, but her mom
might be the genius.
Her mom is the mastermind. That's not even debatable, I don't think. But I think this is why, besides the fact that she doesn't do anything, like she's not classically good at anything. She doesn't sing, she doesn't act, she's just interesting, I guess, to somebody or enough people. But I'm saying, like, yeah, we're missing a step there, and I think that step is the reason why they don't get the respect that whatever. I don't even know how to end that sentence.
How long did it take from that sex tape for them to make?
That's what I'm saying. I have no idea. I have no idea this timeline. I aggressively don't care about this. Like this is the longest I've ever talked about this. Ever. This is the longest I will ever. Like, this is not happening twice. It doesn't.
I'll be damned.
I'll be damned. It's stupid. Like it's really dumb, except for the fact that this actually happened.
Oh, it's
This is like
amazing.
history. This is, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't underwrite it. I don't care about it, but like it did happen, and it's not a small thing that happened either, because this is spun out a whole culture of shit. Like people now just want to be famous without acquiring a skill, and like,
Dude, that might be it. All the social media coming out when she was coming out, and she was on it strongly.
yeah, but I mean, that still
Then the
doesn't.
Instagram
Other people
model
were
damn near
too.
modeled themselves after her.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Like-
saying. Like this, a lot of shit happened. I'm saying there's more post sex tape and maybe somewhere pre-show, however long of a gap, whatever that gap is. Because I don't think a sex tape leads to a TV show directly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's so scary that I think it might though.
See, I don't.
That's the
I don't.
scariest
See, no,
shit.
I think that's lazy, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm saying. People, it's not that simple. If that was the case, she would. There would have been others before and that, like after. No one's even been able to do this afterwards. You understand? Like,
Yeah.
who else has flipped a sex tape into real success? Like, it's not a thing.
Yeah, and somebody did try.
Yeah, people have tried.
Yeah.
There's a whole. Now I gotta talk about something I hate more than this. Love and hip hop is a whole thing, and these bitches are out here trying to get the same amount of attention. I saw, how the fuck did I see?
Okay,
It was like some like behind the scenes is insane, but it was some chick and she was trying to have sex in a shower, and I don't even know how I know this, and I'm not happy that I do. But she was just trying to get more famous doing this thing. And it didn't work because why would it work? So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think believing that is what keeps them underestimated, and it's just a huge fallacy. Because and it's lazy. I think yeah.
No, you're completely right. And I pulled up her page, which should have been the first thing I did, but I was underestimating her.
Yeah, so yeah.
The sex tape not only came out before High School Musical by a long shot,
All right.
it wasn't even thought about for years. And then when it finally did, almost immediately after, she basically takes over Instagram and Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so all of those things happen.
Yeah, she's like
Then a mobile game, Kim Kardashian, Hollywood.
She's a whole app. Yeah, no, she's out here. They make millions.
God.
Like they make hundreds of thousands a day.
Yeah.
Like there's a whole. That's what I'm saying. Like so, that's what I'm saying. That's that underestimating him. I feel like is let them achieve everything because you just think, all right, this is gonna stop. That's actually a big. I mean, you can say the exact same thing, only with less at stake than with Trump. That was the same thing. Like then all the way up into the fucking election day. There's no way this is gonna happen. That was a whole set of fools. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, this is impossible was thrown around a lot.
Heavy.
Like heavy. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even saying I wasn't one of these people. But that's that underestimating while this person is finding people that fuck with them heavy. The combination of things, I think, sets up for this big burst, and then
It really does.
maybe a bigger burst than not, because at least that underestimating, you're getting you're getting double the attention, even though it's negative and positive, but like they can't keep your name out your mouth, because like that in that same vein of Kim K, like. She's still a topic, but like there was a point where she was like the topic, and you either couldn't believe that this was happening, or you were a fan of it. You know what I'm saying? And this is now your new shit. But regardless, you couldn't get around it if you were talking entertainment at all. Because like, wait, now there's this whole new thing, reality TV. Like reality TV came before, but it has not been the same after. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Reality TV used to be Cops, and then the Real World was like
Jersey Shore.
You know what I'm saying? Like just dumb shit. Now it's like it's deeper and dumber. Like it's deeper in on the people, and I'm following. Now we're really following these people around for like their lives. We're not bringing them into a house. We're going to them, and this is their life, and we're gonna shoot it and make it reality. And you gotta because they set shit up. But like what I'm saying, like that's a different take on that whole genre, and that genre competes equally amongst everything. Like it's the same. Game of Thrones. Why? Breaking Bad. Whatever time slot that was in. I don't know what time these shows would come on.
Breaking Bad lost to Kim K. Know that.
I don't know that, and I don't believe that. So no. But I'm saying like if they're at the same, I don't know what time. I only said that for time slot reasons.
Yeah,
like,
no, I really have.
No idea. I don't know.
I don't even watch TV.
Yeah, it's fair. I'm just saying like if you had a TV show and Keeping Up with the Kardashians was in your same time slot on that same day, Wednesdays at 6 or whatever, that was in your consideration because like she's putting in numbers over here. Are they going to turn away to watch this, or we got to make sure our fan base isn't overlapping too hard because she's the first draw at this. Like it's like the wrestling wars, like 8:00 Mondays, Raw or was it Heat?
WWE and Raw and all that.
Before WWE, WWF and WCW. It was direct competition. We are on at the exact same time on the exact same nights. What are you gonna watch? You know what I'm saying? And that's TV competition, time slots in the day. So I'm saying whenever Keeping Up with the Kardashians on, I don't know if it's still on. I don't know if it's as hot as it was. I don't know what their numbers are, but if you're on another channel and you're on that same day and time slot, know that that's on your mind because you're competing for time. Yeah. Everything's competing for time or your attention. So yeah, that wasn't a thing when Real World was on. Like it was like you're safe. It's just different. It's different levels. Yeah, it's just a different thing. But in the sake of competition for your attention and your attention out of 24 hours, things are thick out here. Yeah.
Shit, man. The moral of the story might just be don't underestimate anyone.
Yeah.
Or they'll just flip the table on you.
Don't underestimate someone that is notably relentless at whatever they're doing. That's the thing. You can underestimate someone if you can see that they're not even taking their shit seriously. But if someone's doing something all out, even if you don't take that activity seriously, you can take their gain seriously because, with enough repetition and enough hitting away at something, progression is going to be made. Whether it's slow, and it's like football, go first down, second down. Oh, we got to run. Yeah. I've hit a 20-yard run on you and whatever. So that's what it is. You don't underestimate someone that's not underestimating themselves.
Yeah.
That feels good.
When they're on their grind, you can't just look away.
Yeah, don't discount the grind, even if you don't respect the grind. I can't say I respect it, but I respect the results. Can't not.
Yeah.
Like she did it. So.
Yeah, that's a crazy thing. She got past everybody.
Yeah. So Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Yeah, don't underestimate someone that's not underestimating themselves. I like how that put that on a banner.
I think that's a good spot to drop off on this.
On Kim K, we're gonna really.
Hell yeah.
Ugh.
She's a legend.
See, I'm not doing all that. That's pretty terrible.
Dude, she was on a TV show too. Like, she was killing it.
What do you mean too?
Yeah, she was on The Simple Life. She was good. She had
Zach and Cody.
No. That's The Sweet Life.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know what The Simple Life is.
That's bad. I didn't do that. I was like, why is she on Disney Channel? Like, how'd they let that one go? Fuck Sweet Life, Simple Life.
Yeah. That's the one with Paris Hilton, and she.
Oh.
Yeah, she. Her show.
That was the whole reality show, wasn't it?
I think so.
It was her and her sister, the two Hiltons, right?
Let's see, right?
I remember that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Two wealthy socialites.
I can even see like the poster, and they like on a farm with like the pitchfork.
They're on a farm with a cow that has a. Is that a tutu? That's not a tutu. That can't be a tutu.
It doesn't matter. But yeah, I remember that was the whole thing. She was on there.
Yeah.
Oh, see, that was super early though.
Yeah. No, well, it was after the sex tape. This is that in between timeline. Craziness.
But that's a start though.
Yeah, it's grind.
Yeah.
Does the sex tape, starts hitting social media super hard. Somewhere in between those two things, the sex tape gets out to wider media. We all start talking about it even more.
I feel like you're putting too much on a sex tape. I feel like that's a big part of.
No, it's just a note on the timeline.
No, but I'm saying but you brought it back though.
Well, I only brought it back because I thought this happened way later than it did. That was like 2002. That was damn near 9/11.
Yeah, that feels.
That's
damn,
crazy.
Really? All right, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Wait, when did you say you said 2002?
Dude, we weren't talking about a sex tape until like 2011.
2002. How much internet was there in 2002?
Yeah.
Like for real. Damn. Okay. But yeah, there's no but there.
Complete savage.
That's MySpace and all that.
Dude.
Yeah, there's no Instagram. There's no.
Yeah, none of
there's
that.
no apps. There's no
iPhone.
Blackberries.
Blackberries.
And the Palm Pilots. I had a Palm Pilot.
And the chirps.
Nextel.
Yeah.
Yeah. That wasn't. Yeah, I mean, that was the whole thing. There just wasn't anything smart about that. Nextel chirps were weird because that was almost backwards. It's all right, let's turn this phone into a walkie-talkie.
Everyone had so much fun with it.
I mean, no, it was tight. I'm just saying, like, it's not.
It didn't make sense.
No, no, it was tight. Like, the whole sound. There was rap songs made after it. I'm not mad at the chirp. It's the chirp. I'm just saying it's not in the lineage of smartphone progression.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's not that played no role in pushing things forward. But it was tight though. It kept Nextel in business
for a while.
Yeah, that was like their claim to fame. Come to us for the chirp. Okay.
Hey, dude, I don't know how much. I've never seen a white person with a chirp, so I'm not trying to sound any kind of racist because I feel like I'm coming off that way.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Believe that.
I feel like they
just know.
I feel like they hit black people with like almighty marketing because I remember when I was young.
Oh no, yeah,
dude,
that was our shit.
It was really prevalent for me never to have seen that.
I think it was black people and then white construction workers. Like I feel like you're either using it for like some real merit or like for some bullshit. But like there's a whole middle ground of people. That's like beepers were like lawyers or drug dealers. There was no in between. You're a lawyer, a doctor, or slanging that shit. Like, there was no in between. The people just yeah, let me check my beeper and be a normal citizen. No. No. No one need to be contacted that hard. Like,
Yo,
for sure.
All of that was so much fun for us now to just video chat. Like the video chat's great, but there was a special kick out of chirping at least, because when you yeah it came back in like,
well, walkie-talkies
enjoyed
are
that.
tight. See, that's the thing. Walkie-talkies are tight. The only problem with walkie-talkies is that I have to be like right next to you to use them.
Yeah.
You never find good walkie-talkies with range unless, and if you're getting high-end walkie-talkies, then what the fuck are you even doing? That's just, what are you doing?
You're a kid that has a lot of fun.
Yeah, like that's some blank check Richie Rich bullshit. Like, you just out here. But yeah, with the chirp.
I eye him though.
Huh?
I eye him though. When you in the store, you see him,
no,
I'll be looking
for
hard.
Sure. For sure. This is just the tightest thing. But like, who doesn't want to breaker? Like, who doesn't want to do that shit? Like, it's everything. But it made no sense to ever do. Like, it's just a worthless thing.
I remember getting on the chirp sounded serious as hell, doing a whole serious voice.
Oh yeah. Like,
this is Marcus.
Had to put on your chirp voice. Yeah, it's
it was the best.
Yeah.
To not talk about shit.
Never.
What you doing?
Motherfucker, we just left. What do you want? Yeah, but yeah, it's.
You going downstairs for some Kool-Aid? Give me some. Over. Yeah,
walkie-talkies are fun. It's just it's the distance. But yeah, chirping was a good time.
Yeah.
That was cool. All right. Yeah, I guess I don't have anything else.
We can leave off with that one.
Yeah, that was fair. I don't know how I feel about this episode, but it's cool.
This was a very great episode, guys.
I don't know. I'm on the fence completely. Yeah, whatever. I'm trying to think of words to exit.
This has been a great time. You guys.
We actually never introduced ourselves to even begin with.
Oh, we forgot to introduce ourselves, guys.
Yeah, we kind of just jumped in on some bullshit.
Yeah,
I don't even know what we talked about first to even.
I think it was education. I think we were talking about or the best spent 9 hours.
Oh yeah, we didn't even.
Yeah.
We abandoned that as soon as we got to it. All right, fair enough. Well, this has been another episode. We're doing that.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you for seeing JTO.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially if you're still here. Thank you for coming. What are we gonna talk about next week?
Man, we gotta hit up Paris Hilton next. We already got Kim K. We on
All
a roll.
Right. So we would definitely not be talking about Paris Hilton next week. This is just talking online. I've been Jerry. That's Marcus. We'll see you next week. Something more. Oh my God.